Let's go Los Angeles Rams 26, Arizona Cardinals 9, as is the case in a lot of Cardinals games. It was close for a while. Arizona was up 9-6 heading into the second half, and then it was all Rams in the second half. Matthew Stafford, another clean game, but it was all the running game, man. Look at the Rams. Cooper Kupp coming back as a force, 7 catches for 148 yards and a touchdown. The great Puka Nacua, unfortunately, did drop a touchdown on one of the few Stafford dimes in this game. Stafford throwing two of the better deep outs you'll ever see, man. And love watching Stafford throw the ball. But yeah, Kyren Williams is the dude. 20 carries for $158. The Rams were just too much. They were a touchdown favorite. It was another game. Arizona's keeping it close, but in the second half, Rams they were just a better team.
Yeah, but they did keep it close again for a while, and then made some mistakes, and the Rams end up easing away. It's interesting, like Kyren Williams, obviously the guy, 20 carries, 158 yards, but he's like the only guy in that backfield, and he still makes mistakes, and you can see like during the game, Stafford constantly screaming at him for screwing things up, right, and kind of trying to coach him up with the tough love stuff during the game because he doesn't have another option, right? It's not like he can go, all right, Williams, you screwed that up, take a seat, we're bringing in Cam Akers. Like, Akers is gone now. It's Williams. So if you need him to not do the mistake thing that he just did, you're going to have to tell him quickly and get it fixed on the fly. This was the game where Arizona failed twice, back-to-back, with a double cheek push shove thing, right? The second time was for offensive offside, which we've now seen called a couple of times in the last couple of weeks against various teams. So that backed them up from, instead of 4th and inches, it became 4th and 5, and they took a shot. And he had it, but Dobbs led Marquise Brown out of bounds.
Let him out of bounds on 4th down. Yeah.
And it's like, look, it's just those deep shots are too low a percentage play to take on 4th and whatever, because whatever you gain from the surprise factor, which is what I assume teams think when they're taking those shots, is, everyone's expecting something short, let's hit them over the top. They won't be prepared for it, right?
I mean, realistically, though, their QB's just reading it out. They're just reading out what's available.
But that's my point. You can't. So whatever you're gaining in that surprise element of they're playing everything short, they're not defending the deep shot over the top as well, it's open. You lose on the fact that a deep shot generally is like a 30% shot. So what are you doing? You're turning it into 40% because the coverage isn't good? It's still not a good play. You're not. If you're only going to hit 4 out of 10 of these, it's a bad choice. So stop taking these deep shots on 4th and 5 or 4th and 3. It's not a good play. Every now and again, you'll hit one. The Raiders did one, right, a few weeks ago. But the strike rate of these plays.
That was designed. It's when 4th and really short.
But some of these are designed.
You're going to scheme it open for the deep over, yeah.
Some of these are designed, and it's just, you can't, the deep play, particularly the deep shot down the sideline, is just too low a percentage play to be taking when you need the completion.
Yeah. Kyren Williams was awesome in this game, man. They kept getting him into space. That last touchdown was only 16-9.
It also seemed like the same play over and over again. Like every time I looked up, it was like a toss to the right that was going for 15 yards.
They're doing a lot of that. We're going to bring the tight end in motion and give him the head start to kind of be like your lead blocker. We're seeing that a ton around the NFL. The Rams were doing that all the way back in week 1, and there's been a lot of copying. But yeah, it was a lot of toss plays just getting Kyren Williams into space, and he was 5'9", 194, right? He's navigating it and did a really nice job. But that last touchdown, a 5-yard run, stiff arming a defensive tackle and getting to the edge, Williams was really good. I mean, figuring out this Rams offense, Stafford only dropped back under 30 times. It was run heavy even when it was close in the fourth quarter. And then when Stafford did throw it, like I said, it was bunch of big-time throws in there. Hit Kupp down the field, hit Puka in the hands in the end zone, and a couple deep outs to Tutu Atwell and Cooper Kupp that he just put right on their hands as well. This was good Stafford in a controlled game plan type of situation. Hit his big-time throws when he needed to, and Kyren Williams creating big plays on the ground.
Very little in terms of consistent pass rush from Arizona. We talked about that going into the game. Barbarian watch, no sacks. No sacks for Dennis.
I know. I got a little stat for you on Rams pass blocking grades.
Oh, yeah?
Because every week, like we sit here every Thursday, and we're like, is this a game where the Rams pass blocking will hold up? And overall, we've been pretty good at predicting. Like when they go up against a not so good pass rushing team, say what you want about Seattle, but Seattle in week 1, Arizona this week. So week 1, they had an 84.9, really good pass blocking grade in their win against Seattle. Then it drops to 23, they lose. 26, they lose. I mean, they're at the 80s in one game and then the 20s in other games. The one win, so the 26 against the Niners, right? And in the 20s against the Bengals, 59 against the Colts. They did win that game. Last week, a 47, they lose. And in this game, it's going to be up in the 80s again.
And they win.
Yeah. I'm saying, so like when just get up over 80 and you'll be undefeated. It's just there's very little middle ground with this Rams offensive line. In this one, they were good and protected, and
I still maintain
awesome.
that this offense has the tightest connection in terms of success with its offensive line and pass protection of any offense in the NFL. The Sean McVay system has been insanely closely tied to how well its offensive line performed since he got there. And it's what makes it so interesting is the variance in how it's performed since he's got there has been absolutely insane. It's been at one point probably the best offensive line in the NFL, and at other points it's looked like one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL, and everywhere in between. So you have this incredible breadth of data of how tight the correlation is between the two. Like Ben Baldwin still has that meme graph that he posts every now and again of like quarterback performance versus PFF pass blocking grade for his offensive line. It's in the same place every time. It's crazy.
So good win for the Rams. Moving to 3-3, Cardinals fall to 1-5. Look, Josh, it wasn't a great game from Dobbs. I just don't know if he's just going to like run out of time. Like the more you see Dobbs for the entire season, it's not great. It's better than I expected, but over time.
But this was also one of those. So remember in this weird division of rock, paper, scissors, particularly the Aaron Donald effect, like the 49ers always neutralize Aaron Donald, but he always absolutely destroys the Seahawks and the Cardinals. And Aaron Donald and friends annihilated the Arizona pass protection in this game. Like Donald had a huge game. Byron Young, who I think is a really perfect combination with Aaron Donald, because Byron Young is freaky athletic and constantly like hustle plays and, high motor type of guy. And Donald is going to create a ton of things for you if you're just willing to like keep going and work at it and fight and chase it down.
You know who would be good here, at least would get stats here, is Bud Dupree. Bud Dupree's hustle. Stop. That's the one thing that he's really good at. High motor hustle plays and being athletic. Bud Dupree would have all sorts of cleanup production here with the Rams.
Anyway, Aaron Donald was really good. Byron Young was really good. The Rams had a ton of pressure. Arizona's pass protection didn't hold up, and consequently, Josh Dobbs is unlikely to look good. There was a play in there as well that was his interception, his red zone interception, the behind Zach Ertz thing. That was like a double blow because, okay, it's a bad throw, it's a bad interception, it's a bad location. I think it was also a bad read. I think he threw the outside guy. Inside was Rondale Moore coming open right between two defenders. If you hit that guy instead, it's probably a touchdown. And, that's a reasonably bad decision, and a bad execution turned what could have been a touchdown and made a difference to the game into an interception, and that's basically game over.